When it comes to giving a speech, one thing that tends to trip some people up is they don't practice effectively. And so what I'm here to tell you today is you've got to practice effective speech delivery. It's not enough to know these things about gestures and body mechanics and eye contact and volume and pitch. You have to actually practice them before you stand up to give the speech to make sure you do it effectively. And some tips for effective practicing delivery is the subject of this video. Okay, so in practicing delivery, this is not overly complicated, but I'm always surprised at how many people just don't do it effectively because they think they can skip a step in the process. Don't do that, okay? Because what you need to do when you are practicing your delivery is develop what I call your public speaking persona. And this is a specific way you tend to stand, gesture, and sound when you give a speech. Now, you probably aren't going to talk or look, gesture like this any other time than when you give a speech. I liken it to a coat. You put it on when you need it, you take it off when you don't. But you may need to do things like make sure you gesture more, make sure you talk louder, watch rocking and swaying, that type of thing. And this all goes into developing that public speaking persona based on those things we discussed in their previous videos. So, what are some things you need to do to practice your delivery? Well, first and foremost, you've got to practice your speech aloud. Listen to me on this. Sitting in a chair and reading your speech to yourself is not practicing. It's one of those differences between a paper and a speech. You have got to actually stand up and speak and work on rate, talking at a good rate people can understand, work on volume and all those various things. So you've got to actually stand up and practice giving your speech aloud, which gives us to our second thing with practicing delivery. Practice while standing. Okay? Practice while standing, providing it's something you can do, obviously. If you're going to be giving your speech standing up, again, sitting in a chair and saying your speech is not practicing. You need to practice standing up to get used to it, okay? Again, get up and talk. Two big things here. Sounds simple, but I'm always surprised at how many people don't do this. And also, if you're going to have props in general, practice with those. Now, that can be a physical object you use. It can be PowerPoint, whatever. I would also say if you're going to dress up for the speech, practice in that outfit or something similar. And I know that may sound ridiculous, but do you feel different wearing a suit or a sport coat than you do in a t-shirt? Is walking in high heels different than walking in sneakers? Yes. And so if you're going to be wearing something like that, practice in it so that you know what you need to do. You know what it's going to feel like, because that practice will help minimize newness when you're actually giving the speech. And minimizing that newness can really help you with things like speech anxiety. So practice with all that stuff ahead of time so that you are comfortable with it and you know how it's going to work. And then lastly, practice with a speaking outline. I've said it in the video about outlining, and I'll say it again here. Do not give your speech from your preparation outline. Convert it over to the speaking outline. If you give it from your preparation outline, you will read it 99% of the time. And remember, the class is called public speaking, not public reading. Have that good conversational quality. You've got to get away from full sentences and so forth and get to that good keyword speaking outline to help you develop the type of vocalics that you're going to need. So practicing in anything, music, sports, whatever, is important, and the same applies here in public speaking. And just like in those other things, you will perform like you practice. So you need to practice like you're going to perform. So stand up if needed. Actually say your speech out loud. If called for, wear something that you're going to wear when you give the speech or something similar, and practice delivering it that way. If you're going to be recording your speech, practice with the camera and recording it so you can listen back and see how see what you look like, what you sound like. Maybe you might need to make some tweaks in the software. But if you take this step and just simply practice, delivery, I guarantee you it will make you a better speaker that is much more capable at communicating and reaching an audience.